Going next.
A valued customer. I like that name.
Ooh, going valued customer in the Midwest. Thank you, valued customer. How can we help you today?
Hey, Matt. Hey, guys.
Hey.
Hey.
Hey, I was just calling in today. It's the first time I called in. But we are closeted atheists here in a community that we would not be able to come out in.
Sure.
And so my wife and I were the same, kind of on the same journey. But we are raising our kids in the church. And sorry, I'm a little bit nervous here.
No, you don't have to be nervous. And I've answered this issue 100 times, so I'm going to let Drag do it.
Yay.
Yeah. So we're raising them in the church, but now as they're getting older, I'm having, my son, 8 and 5, we're kind of having a fear that they're going to kind of out us unintentionally, So we're just kind of, I don't know, we're just hoping that, we're just kind of telling them that we're all going to church. This is our tradition. This is what we do. We're always open to having conversations, and we tell them other people believe other things. But it's just hard when they make, I don't know. We're just afraid sometimes.
You are in a terrible situation.
Yeah. So there's a few ways to handle this. This is actually very funny. Back when I was on the Magic Sandwich Show, this is a question that similar to the question that I asked Arn, but now I get to give information to you. So you're paying it forward. So I would just make sure that you are educating your kids in the Judeo-Christian tradition. Make sure that they are educated in it, but also give them the tools and teach them how to ask questions. Teach them skepticism. They're not going to intentionally try to get you in trouble. They may inadvertently say something, but any good believer can say that, you know what, I like to investigate all the claims. And that if there's any questions in your local area, hey, why aren't you attending churches? You know what, wife's not feeling good. We're still searching for a church. There's all types of,
Well, they're going to church.
Yeah, they're still, okay.
He's afraid that the kids are going to say something at church that's going to out the fact that they're non-believers. Is that right?
Yeah, that's right. As they get older here, they're, it was easy when they were young.
Yeah, you're going to have to talk. You're going to have to talk to them about that. But you do have options in that. Look, the kids are inquisitive. They understand certain things. I don't envy your situation because you are voluntarily lying. You are committing yourself to living a lie in a long-term situation. What you probably need to talk to is someone who was gay and closeted for ages, and how they dealt with lying to anyone and everyone about this, because it's at least from what I've heard, it's at least similar in the and I'm getting nods from one of my friends in the audience. It's at least similar to the emotional trauma that you have to go through. At some point, you're going to have to make a decision of whether or not you want your kids to keep having to do this, and whether or not it's worth it to coach your kids to lie on your behalf. And I get it. You're in a situation where there may not be any other option. And I've told people, if you're in a situation like that, lie your happy little ass off. Because if coming out is going to jeopardize your health or security or job or any of that stuff, you're better off lying. But it ain't going to be easy.
I hate saying that though, but it's it's true. Like, just focus on building a cover. But I would say personally, extricate yourself and your family and come to Austin. It's great here.
And I fully realize that the best thing to do would be to move somewhere else, do something different.
It's not always an option.
Live opening, but it's totally not an option. And, I don't want to make it sound like I'm important or anything, but kind of the status I have in the community.
I have a solution.
There's nothing I can do.
I have a solution. You and your spouse can keep going and lying, and don't make the kids go anymore. And if people ask, hey, why aren't you putting your kids in church? you can say, well, we've had issues with them when they come to church, and we just don't think they're necessarily ready for it. They've been taught some things. We're going to continue teaching them things, and we're going to allow them to make up their own mind and do more of what they want to do. And now you're being slightly more honest. Your kids aren't going to out you, and they're also not having to sit through bullshit stories of Noah and the ark.
Oh, yeah, that's not something that I don't know if that's necessarily an option either, as we've been going, but
people would notice if you guys just stopped.
Well, you can keep going.
Yeah, but it's man, we're not like lost in the crowd. This isn't a big church. It's it's like, oh man. Yeah.
I didn't say it was a good solution. I said it was a solution. I don't think you have a good solution.
Yeah.
You are between a rock and a hard place.
Make everyone else an atheist. I think that'd be easier.
That's what we're trying to do, is change the world around you so that your problem goes away.
Yeah, and my hope is that both my wife and I were raised Christians. My hope is that, and I think that everyone around me as they were raising us was legitimate about their belief. But my hope is that, hearing both sides of the story, they'll come to a logical conclusion down the road when they're older. Because we searched and searched and searched, and we only decided that it was okay for ourselves, that this was an okay thing to actually not believe in.
Here's a question.
Yeah.
How many people are at your church on average on Sunday?
30.
23?
30 or so.
Yeah. What if 20 of them are doing the exact same thing you're doing?
Oh, that's one of my theories. I'm under the sometimes assumption that everyone thinks this is bullshit, but they're all trying to keep up appearances, because that's what I did for the first 30 years of my life.
Churches are full of people who are doing what you're doing. Now, I'm not going to say what percentage it is or what the majority is. We know that there are pastors who are doing what you're doing because we know about the Clergy Project. There are active clergy people who don't believe, who are stuck in a job that they can't get out of. And so we created a community for them to talk. I would recommend, as I always do, that you contact Recovering from Religion. You can go to the website. You can call in to the helpline. You can engage in chat services there. We also have a Discord. There may be other people on our Discord channel who are in similar situations. Getting to talk to some of those people. You can also, if there's 30 some odd people there at your church, you can gradually express doubts to people about portions of doctrine and kind of feel them out and see where they are. And then you might be able to suss out how many of them are going along to get along.
Yeah, for sure. And the other thing too is, I've been watching, and I just swore that I would be an observer of the show for the rest of my days. And I just had to call in today. But my other, my 8-year-old I'm watching these shows and he's asking questions about, what's that show about and all this stuff. And I'm having to answer some real hard questions.
Just tell him Roblox.
Yeah. He plays that game.
My son too. So I know about it.
So that's where I'm at. But I really honestly appreciate the opportunity to be able to reach out and, talk to somebody. I'm glad that I have my wife, with me on the same wavelength.
Yeah.
That would be infinitely harder.
Yeah.
If I was just on my own, in my own household as a prisoner, I don't know what I would do.
Yeah. And there are people who are in that situation. So that you got it better than some people, even though you got it bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, if you figure something out, if you make some changes, if you make some discoveries, whatever else, by all means, call us back and let us know. I can't promise that we could ever be any more help than we were today. And I definitely would encourage you to reach out to Recovering from Religion. If for no other reason than they can often put you in touch with, resources and communities. And they're probably going to have dealt with this even more than I have.
Yeah. And I mean, this is, it's like nobody knows. It's insane.
Yeah. So. All right. Thanks, man.
for calling.
Okay, Matt, you guys really appreciate taking my call, and you guys have a good one.
You too, man.
Best of luck. That's tough.
I've been in a similar situation where I've had to kind of hide my non-belief, and that was back when I was living with my parents after Hurricane Katrina, and like I don't have any resources other than family, and they're all Christians, and so it's like got to kind of play the game until I moved out. And so my mother slowly found out after I started posting things on social media. So yeah, she's like, it's just a phase. No.
How's that working out?
She actually joined me on a stream before we came up here, and so she knows she's a subscriber to my YouTube channel, and she knows that I'm out. She knows I'm doing this, and she,
Hi, Mom.
yeah. So it's
Don't hate me.
She enjoys that I am open about what I believe and what I don't believe. She just wants me to be honest. To be true to myself, and to me to, obviously she wants me to be a Christian and she prays for me, but she's not belligerent about it at all.
Yeah. There are a number of parents who are, I've had back and forth with my parents, and
I've heard.
One of the things that my dad pointed out at one time is, hey man, it's your life. God gave you free will. If you want to go to hell, that's your choice, and it's not something he has to actually worry about. So there's been the passive-aggressive thing. Mm-hmm. I also know that my parents are proud of me to some extent. They're not proud that, from their perspective, I'm actively leading people to hell. They are proud of me, because they know that I'm a decent person, mm-hmm. and they know I'm doing something that I love, and they know that I hope they know that I'm being sincere, especially after we've had, conversations about it.
Right.
That's a difficult position to be in, and that's why for years I cut them quite a lot of slack right up until the birthday card.
Yeah, I heard about that event.
And that's where I was like, okay, I've given you this much rope, I just can't.
Yeah, it's even.
And I think that our caller is going to be in a similar situation at some point. It's normal for human beings to hide their aspects of their true self from other people. Almost everybody does this. We do it when we first meet someone because we'd like for them to like us, and we'd like to find out whether or not we're going to get along. So you gradually dole out the little pieces of your debauchery or whatever else it is. And it's like, and then what ends up happening is that if you're in relationships that are compatible, either it becomes a non-issue, or you find out that you're similar in some way. Mm-hmm. Your kink's not my kink, but your kink's fine. Or your kink is my kink, and let's go have fun. And not just with respect to kinks, but we do that. That's normal. What's not healthy is living a lengthy, grand lie to anyone and everyone around you. Because now you have nobody that you can connect with who knows who you actually are.
No, because you're putting up this facade. You're walking around on eggshells so that no one figures out.
Because you don't want to be alone.
Yeah.
You're terrified that people aren't going to like you for who you are. And all I can tell you is that the people who truly know who I am, most of them are still okay with me. Or, they like me with some regard.
Yeah.
Some of them don't. I don't really miss the ones that ended the relationship because now I have relationships with people who appreciate me for me.
Not who they think you are.
Right. I don't have to put up a facade ever. I found my brand. I got my network. I got my people. We're all here. And it's some of the people on the other side of the glass. And there's probably some of the people on the other side of the glass here today who are like, yeah, I'm here because Dragnauct and the rest of the community, that Matt's an ass and I don't want anything to do with him. Cool. I appreciate the fact that at least if they're going to be dismissive towards me, that maybe they're doing it because they genuinely know who I am.
Right.
I'd rather have someone hate me for who I truly am than hate me for who they heard I was. And I'd rather have somebody love me for who I truly am than love me for who they think I am.
Facts.